Test one.
All right. I'll edit out like the first 15 seconds just so we get comfortable and set up. But all right, guys, welcome back to the Poor Decisions podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan, and today we have a very special guest on. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Jackson Fulton, owner of Jackson's Theater, Cozy Old Soul, Fulton's General Store, Roxy's Candy Lounge, how-to venue, and about ready to open up a Tropa wine bar in July.
Man, quite a list of achievements right there.
I'm bored, man.
I mean, that's kind of what we do in life is we just find stuff to keep us going.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of times when I've kind of been late on this journey because that's why I'm doing it like a sprint. Anybody doesn't know, you know, I have a daughter, Roxy, who's 11 years old, and she's autistic. So we kind of, when you first start in this business, you kind of do it for you. You know, when I was an entertainer, still am, but I've toured around the country doing shows, cat in the Elvis suit, like you said. And it was wild because you kind of did a lot for you. You thought the world wasn't going to stop because you were in it. Then all of a sudden you get this kid, 11 years old, and you just feel like, all right, now this race that I'm running is not for me anymore. It's for this girl, because you know that as she gets older, she's gonna depend on the finance, and you know, I ain't gonna outlive her, so we have to make sure everything is in place for her. When something happens to me or anybody else. I know that was kind of a power down, wasn't it? But it's still encouraging.
Would you say that's your biggest inspiration is your daughter?
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. You know, I mean, it's like, I say she is in a way, but man, she is also, you find out what unconditional love is all about, right? Because when you love somebody so much and you don't get that love back, you get it in the way that they give it to you, and you could still turn around and give them that type of love. That's unconditional, man. So anybody out there who has somebody that's in a relationship with unconditional love, way to go. I'm telling you, that's the way it is, because then you don't have to feel like someone's obligated to love you back the way you want it to. A lot of stuff works out like that in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I've actually talked about like modern dating and modern love on a couple episodes on the podcast, and that's one of the things I hit on was that unconditional love.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like that's a pretty big aspect to.
Well, I mean, it kind of depends on who you ask, man. I mean, you know, a lot of times now people are doing it on the internet now, you know, and they're swiping right and swiping left, man. Hey, man, I'm gonna break up with you. I'm gonna swipe left on that. I'm gonna make up with you, swipe right, you know, and weirdest things. I mean, I watch this stuff like on YouTube. Yeah, that's, you know, YouTube. Yeah, and it's that rabbit hole everybody comes down on, you know. So you go on YouTube, and mostly all these police guys and cops, man, they stop people, or they arrest these cats for, you know, being bad Tinder dates.
Yeah.
You know, being bad profile dates, man.
Exactly.
So, note to self. Don't be putting your high school picture on there and say you only drink moderately and you don't do any drugs and you're a big churchgoer and you got three divorced wives or something like that. Keep it real, keep it 100. Tell the truth, speak the truth, man, because when you tell the truth, lying is pretty tough, man, you know.
Yeah, if you're in Skipper's or Jackson's drinking every weekend, I wouldn't say you're a moderate drinker. So if I know your face, then, you know, that's probably not a good sign.
Well, that's a good thing, though. You know, that's a good thing, man, because, you know, I mean, you know, we build off our tourisms.
Oh,
off
absolutely.
Our tours, right? Okay. But during the week, there are the people that are your locals. Now, and I have this thing, you know, we don't even call our people regulars anymore, because it's just, there's only two things that are regulars, and one of them is when you're in the bathroom. That's regular.
Yeah, you're not wrong, man.
So I tell people, I said, but we call them specials.
Okay.
They're specials because they are the ones that front, support, and build your business, man. You know, and those are the ones that are actually responsible. Because they know if they become a little bit irresponsible, a little bit, you know, a little bit obnoxious, you know, we catch him and we give him a mulligan, but after a while, it's like, look, dude, you know.
Yeah, and you don't want to lose them, but they also don't want to lose the place that they're coming to.
No, absolutely not, especially if you have become an establishment. You know, people get so used to sitting in those chairs and sitting on those stools and having great conversation, and, you know, and with us over here, you know, we don't play sports on TV. You know, mostly we play jazz. That's all we do. And, you know, every now and then we'll have horse racing and a sport called highlight. Two that you really don't have a dog in the hunt. You are intrigued and curious the whole time. And when people go, what the hell is that ball that they're throwing? And you let them know, because that's how they talk. And that ball goes about 140 miles an hour, and it can break people's bones, man.
Yeah, and we had some horse races on at Skipper's probably like a month ago. The whole bar top was just so interested in those horse races that I found it hilarious. These people who didn't know each other, never talked to each other once before, are all over here having like little side bets on these horse races. And I'm like, I've never watched horse races a day in my life, but I'm sitting there watching it with them just for how excited they were getting.
Yeah. And all they do is they know the numbers. Come on, 4. Come on, 4. 4. Come on, you got this, 4. 4. Oh, you know, 4 is my favorite number. You know, 4. And more Michelob Ultras that they'll say, F you, 4.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I bet my money on you, 4.
I used to want to be a horse jockey when I grew up, and then I found out how tiny them guys are.
Oh, yeah.
They're so small. And then as I got bigger, I was like, oh, well, that's out of the picture for me.
Most of them jockeys, man, a lot of them are freaking alcoholics, too. And, you know, but they're shredded and they're jacked, you know, for their size. But, yeah, you got a lot of alcoholics, man, that are jockeys, you know. But because they can run up to like 3-4 different types of horses, you know, during a 10-horse race.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, and it's a good business to be in. They get anywhere between 12 to 20% of the purse.
Oh wow.
If they win, so they get a lot. Yeah. That and the cool thing is that the better the trainer, you know, some of these trainers, man, they get pretty expensive, but they have a bigger stable of better jockeys that know how to run these horses. You see how we segued to that, guys? Pivot, horse race, sports. Hey, we could have called it all trends. Bad decisions? I think these are good decisions.
Yeah, like I said, man, I wanted to be a horse jockey growing up, and then
why?
I don't know. It just seemed so cool. Like when I was growing up, I'd watch it with like my grandparents and stuff because that's all they'd watch. They didn't. They didn't give a hell about sports.
Right.
They thought it was all scripted.
Yeah.
And I mean,
like wrestling.
Yeah. It looks scripted sometimes. So
right.
I mean, that's what I watched growing up, and I just got so used to watching it that I decided I wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And then once I got into like high school, I started sprouting up and sprouting sideways, and decided that wasn't.
Did you ever ride a horse?
I've rode horses before, and I loved it. When I was younger, my great uncle, he had a ranch,
right?
And I'd go out there and help him take care of the horse and stuff. That was the first time I ever rode a horse, and surprisingly, the first time I ever rode a horse was bareback, no saddle.
No shit.
Yeah.
God damn.
And
make your balls hurt, man.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise! I fell off that horse. So
you know, I went to the rodeo, man. This past one, the rodeo roundup of Gladewater, and first time I went, never been to a rodeo before, but we sponsored, you know, a thing, and so I sat there, and I'm looking at these horses. Well, first, just that slice of Americana.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You know, when you go to a rodeo, you kind of expect what Texas is all about, and even East Texas, what's all about. My God, man. You go, I mean, it's like, you know, this is where you take your first date knowing that it's going to be your wife and knowing that you're going to have 5 kids with her. So this is where it starts.
That's a great way to put that.
That's where it starts, man. You're either pregnant, you're going to act like you want to be pregnant, or it's your first date to wind up probably hey, let's get pregnant. Rodeo Cool Beer, which is kind of what I just found out. Rodeo Cool Beer, you got Rodeo Cool Beer, and it's hot. It's hot.
It's so hot.
Man, don't wear your Sunday best, man, because I mean, especially if you got a hairy back, because
you're gonna
sweat it right out. And so I'm watching these dudes, man, and I'm cringing. And every time, like I was watching the bareback riding guys, and it was like, the guy that was next to me, I grabbed him and got God, they do, and the guy's like, no, that's a good one. Now that horse is gonna win on that one. And then with the bull riding was the craziest one because all the fans were rooting for the bull.
Yeah, they want to see them guys.
They want to see it. Not one cowboy, man, was stuck on that bull. So now he's got to go home. Hey, you screwed up less than 8 seconds. You'll be back over there in Abilene, man. You got to drive it back, man. and then of course you got the clowns. Yeah. And the clowns ain't no joke.
Hey, they got some skills out there.
I'm tell you what, you talk about hazard pay, man. You got a hoof coming up like this right into your face, man, and you just like doing the Matrix. Yeah, that hoof just come. But the craziest one was the kid one.
Yeah, the mutton busting.
Yeah, dude. Okay, now remember, I'm a dad, right? Yeah. Maybe beforehand I wouldn't really give a shit, but now that you're dad,
you got a little bit of extra.
You got a little
bit to it now.
You're a little invested. And the first thing you see is you see these 300 kids that are like half my kid's size and 5 and 6 years old, running after that damn animal because it ain't. I don't care how cute these calves are, man. It's an animal. The damn thing is an animal. It can bite you. It can stomp you. It can lick you to death, and it can bite you.
Man, that'd be a way to go, getting licked to death.
Depends on what calf you're talking about. Anyway, so there was one that came in, and there was this 5-6-year-old, and this animal just went ahead, pop, face planted. That kid face planted, man. I thought, this is it. I mean, they're gonna have to evacuate the whole place, What happened? His old man comes over the fence, gets that boy up. Get up, boy. Don't be embarrassing me like that. Get on and get your ass over there and stop driving. He was didn't even tell him to stop crying. Just said, boy, get up. Make me look bad. And you know who won it? Was a girl. Yeah. Girl took that damn thing, boy. And I was like, damn, that calf, I felt bad. I thought they were going to shish kebab me. Them the 300 kids are coming after him yeah. Look, that's what Lord of the Rings looked like, man. Flies.
That's that final fight scene in any of those movies. Yeah. Swarming.
Yeah. And one more other thing. There are two things that I'll never want to get in the alley with. King Kong and these dudes that wrestle these damn steers down. Yeah. Nope. That ain't me. I mean, you could just look at them. I mean, they just farm strong. Yeah. I just can't do that.
Yeah, farm strong's a different kind of strong.
Oh, shoot.
I'm in the Marines. I've been in for 5 years now.
Oh, okay. So you still in?
I'm still in. Got a year left on my contract.
Are you reserve or are you?
Yes, sir. Reserves.
Okay, reserves. Yeah, well, thank you.
And I've definitely seen the difference between farm strong and weight strong. And I'll tell you what, farm strong wins just about every time.
Take that bale of hay, throw it over the shoulder. Yeah, even those CrossFit dudes can't do that. CrossFit, no, they just do it with their shirt off. You see, farm strong leave their shirt on. Yeah. And we're talking about the women. I ain't talking about just the men. Women are farm strong too.
Yeah, 100%.
Because every time I got a guy that comes in here, you can always tell because man, their handshakes like a vice. Yeah. They're like a vice grip.
Yeah, you shake your hand afterwards without them seeing. You put it behind your back and just shake it out. You're like, man.
No, we ain't gonna do all that. But you could always tell, man, because it's the way they fill out. You notice they don't do a lot of weight training, because they're like lifting up cattle, calves and getting babies out of cows and shit. Yeah. And, taking sheep and taking out all their damn cotton, whatever the hell, the wool or whatever. But yeah, Farmstrong is a different breed altogether. I don't mess with Farmstrong people.
Yeah.
You know.
That's on the bottom of my list.
But they make good, but they're killer, man, for good friends, man.
100%. They got your back through anything.
Absolutely.
You could be in the wrong. They got your back. To an extent.
To an extent.
Yeah. Depends on what you're in the wrong about, but to an extent.
Yeah. I keep wondering, man, you know, when I first came down here, you know, because I live in Dallas. And the first time I came down here, it was a different lifestyle, you know. Everything was slowed down behind that pine curtain, you know.
Yeah.
Never forget, like, you know, we started working on, we wanted to work on the roof. So we got the bid, wanted to work on this roof. And I said, hey, when are y'all coming? You know, we'll be there. We'll be there. Don't worry about it. We got a couple of more places to go. We'll be there, you know. 6 months later, you know, take your buddy, man, 6 months later. Oh, yeah, we here. I said, well, I'm still in Dallas, man. Should have told me, you know.
Yeah, little heads up would have been nice.
Yeah, Farmstrong people actually, you know what else they do, man? They measure a lot. You know, they measure. They always have a tape measure with them.
Yeah.
You know, and they measure and they pull and tug and pull and stretch and go back and forth. You know, you see them, man. You always see it, and they talk about that project for about 40 minutes, staring at it. And watching them East Texas people, you watch them when they look at a car, literally right off of King of the Hill. They just stare at that car. You know that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right there. Do a little bit of pointing, more pulling, more tugging.
Oh yeah, look, you got to have the pointing in there.
You got to have one.
The pointing in there is the biggest thing.
And they'll go, yeah, that's right there. You got that.
Yeah, the little lean they got.
That 2.5. To get that car at now. More a little of that, more pulling, more tugging, tug, pull, drink, pull. I ain't even touched the car.
Yeah, no, they're just looking at it.
Looking to see if it's like, I wonder if I can look at it hard enough that paint will come off.
Yeah, if I look hard enough, the project will just finish.
Yeah, look at that. Hey, look at that. That a guy. He says, "Man, every Sunday we get the same people. Got to get that fence built. I got to get that fence built. No drinking today, Jackson. Got to get that fence built. I got to put the post up. And then next week, did you get that fence built? Nah, I got to do it today. No drinking today. Got to do it today."
Man, Texas people are some of the funniest people you'll meet, though, without even meaning to be funny. That's just them doing them.
Man, they got sayings too. You know, they all got sayings. You know, let's hear it for drinking and prostitution. I love that. There ain't nothing better than a couple of bourbons and some prostitution. Literally, that's just a salute, man. You know, I'll tell you what. I got to get my wife to understand what it's like to be a man. She just don't get it, or they'll say, "Man, I can't get mama. Mama don't want to come to that damn show. Nah." She just thinks there's just a couple of weirdos in those shows. Oh, bro, you're all right. You know, you'll be all right. But yeah, so and the more drinks you get with them, man,
The more you get.
You know what? Oh man, I love you, man. You know, I do. Oh, hell yeah, man. I love you. I love you more. Well, God bless. I love you most, man. You know, it's almost like, why don't you just come on over? Let's all get naked. You know, let's all get naked. Come to the pool with us, man. We'll stay in our jacuzzi. You know, it's, of course, the East Texas lake.
Yeah, seriously.
You know? But no, seriously, all this respect because I love everybody that embraces who we are. And I think the most important part about talking, you don't ever talk bad about people. You always talk with and for and the humor that goes behind it. Because I think that with anything that we see, especially bartenders, servers, bartender, server, bartender. You know, we tend to get these great stories, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've got, you know, tons of stories.
Oh, man.
But it's funny. I mean, you're going to get people, you know, there's a reason why people come to bars or even like here, even lounges. It's not only therapeutic, but you're there to actually listen, you know. I think that every bartender should be able to understand that They're not there for your problems. They will ask you how you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and the thing is, you guys say, hey, man, I'm doing great. How are you? And I'm always pushing the conversation towards the customer because there's reasons why they come. There's reasons why they're there for long, expansive periods of time. And you know, if you have good bourbon, if you have a good cocktail, not a drunk cocktail, no $5 Crown and Down. $5 Crown Downs, you know what that gets you? My husband bigger than you. Where's he at? No, I ain't leaving. Where's my husband at? I don't care what you saying. Where my husband? Ma'am, you're gonna have to leave. I don't have to leave. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah,
those?
seriously.
That's the $5 Crown and Down.
It's a
card.
$5 Crown and Down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like you were saying, like people, they come into bars not for your problems. And sometimes they don't even come in there to tell you about their problems. They're just coming in there just to get away from their problems for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, you see that so often.
Mm-hmm.
But from what you see, there's always a whole nother side to it.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's always, it starts out as a passive window, you know, until reality sets in. And that passive window is literally the 13 inches that you have on that stool to table to bartender. Literally, it's an expanse of 13 inches. And then that 15 sips of that drink, of what's in that cup, that starts it. And you know, look, man, you gotta think. Drinks started wars,
Yeah.
started peace talks, you know, started dates, got into a marriage,
Ended a marriage.
ended the marriage, started getting 911 to be called.
Yeah.
But also, I think that and I say moderation, I don't know, libation, moderation, I don't know if there's really a definition for that, man. Some people are more moderate than others, but the beginning of that passive window, you get to really see the true person. Now, when reality sets in, that true person becomes this other type. Now, this other type could be an adversary of this first person, or he just becomes a really, really, or her, becomes someone that's really true to themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You take out the knockout drunk ones. Take out the ones that, of course, when people come to see you, they come to see me, they've already pre-gamed at your place.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and all they go, you got any light beer? I said, no. You don't have any light beer? No, ma'am, we got good beer. But I think it's an interesting kind of thing, bro, because you look at what they drink, how they drink, and what the conversation is like.
Oh yeah.
And the ones that are so, they're not out of it, but what you can see, they're self-effacing into their own misery. And those are the ones, man, you gotta almost wean off of.
Yeah, you definitely got to keep a heavy watch on them because once they start sinking down into there, if you
It's
let
tough,
them
man.
keep sinking, then
Yeah.
it's
Well, what they do is they make it kind of uncomfortable for the person next to them.
100%.
You know, and we have our codes. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys are codes. I mean, we don't. People hate this, man, and I caught a lot of static, but we don't allow cats with backward hats on. We just don't do it because it just sends off a bad signal. Cuts sends off kind of a bad signal because the most important thing is we want our people here to be, just feel good, be safe. It's a little more exclusive.
Yeah, it's a lounge. You want
It's
people
a
to come in
lounge,
here
yeah.
and feel comfortable enough to just chill.
Yeah, and when you play jazz, you see, I tell people this, with jazz, you don't want to fight. There's no say,
just wanna sit there.
yeah, because there's nothing in those songs that are saying, man, my dog died and my truck's hurting and my balls hurt and stuff.
Yeah, a woman left me.
Woman left me, man. I want to kick some ass, But with jazz, it's like, you know what? Talk about what the jazz is playing. And you want to start something with me? No. Right. You might tickle each other. That's about it. But see, that's the whole thing. The persona of what drinking is and how people use drinking as a source of, people could use it as a source of wisdom. They could use it as a source of personality. And they can use it as a source of violence because they've already had plans that they were going to be mad in the first place.
Oh, 100%. You don't just walk into somewhere and just,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 at least, you don't just walk into somewhere and.
Did you ever have anybody that comes in with just straight up attitude?
Oh, 100%, all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, it's like, I understand you got stuff going on in your life, but I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
I'm here to give you these
Yeah.
drinks. I'm here to talk to you.
Yeah.
And you're coming in, and I'm like, I hate water.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay. That's. No, see? Okay.
How you doing? Coke. My name is.
Don't sell me anything, damn it. Okay? I know your type, you bunch of alcoholic heathens.
Yeah, serious.
You are just devil worshipers from the first ordeal of the Bible. You just stick there behind that bar, buddy boy, because I'm going to shoot your ass if you don't give me that damn water that I asked you for. No, and that's not my wife. But you know, the funny thing is, we always get the ones, and I'm pretty sure you do. And then you got to figure out how do I negotiate this? What do y'all got? What do y'all got? And I'll go, well, here's our menu. We got everything. Well, look at these cocktails. Cocktails. All right, well, I'll just have a lemon drop martini. Can I get a shot of that? I said, darling, we don't do shots. We do martini. Y'all don't do shots around here? God bless. And they get really obnoxious, and I tell them, and my bartenders will have issues, you know, and I'll just say, I'll look at them and I said, you good to drive home? Yeah, I'm not even drunk. Yeah, I said, no, do you just act like this on a regular basis, man? I mean, I feel bad for your husband, man, you know, but then you have to let him know, man, that this, you know, we have a right to refuse service, and if you want to go lights out on that, that's up to you. But we as an establishment, and I'm pretty sure with you guys, you have to run it kind of like that. That also has to be something that you have to maintain, because you want people to keep coming to your place.
100%.
You know, and whether it's Michelob Ultra and whether it's, you know, Crown and Down, you know, we're always careful. We want people to have the experience. That's why when we have like 200 different types of bourbons and whiskeys. The reason why is because we want people to have the experience. I don't need them to be coming in looking to get drunk. I want people to come in, feel good.
Feel good.
Put that nice little kind of warm feeling you got in your system, and then be on your way. And on the average, most people, the average person here stays about 3 hours, so, which is a good thing.
That's a pretty good average, honestly.
For a little small area like this.
Yeah.
You know, now do we have our, you know, who's your biggest problem, women or men? That's okay. Don't make them cut this. Don't make them cut it.
That's a tough one. I feel like in general or over at Skipper's?
Let's say, I'm not going to specify, but let's just say in general.
In general, for me as a bartender, the biggest people I always have problems with is men, because I'm a man. I've definitely experienced that at a bunch of different bars. Like, obviously, you know, you get some odd and end trouble women in there, but men give me the most shit because I'm a guy.
You know, what do they normally drink?
Ultra.
Boom!
Coors, Miller.
Listen.
Those 3 are the top ones.
Listen. Hey. There's a reason why we pulled out on Michelob Ultra. We stopped selling them because we had a few times where it was a little tense here. You know, a little tense the more than I wanted it, because it's not the kind of establishment we had. And I can look at all the transactions on that date and see who drank it. And 90% of them. Michelob Ultra was the big problem. And women were the ones that were consuming it. And they were the ones that had to get big on their britches and always say, you know, where's my husband at? No, I'm fine. I'm not talking to you. Okay? I'm not talking to you at all. I'm talking to that one. Yeah, you heard me. Where's he at? I'm surprised he ain't backed me up, that son of a bitch.
And that's how you know you live that, because that is like pretty much a word for word.
Oh
like,
my God!
And it's like they carry around a script, because they all pretty much say the same
they
thing.
got it's ghetto repeat.
It must be writ on the bottle or something.
Yeah, they got to hit it. Got to hit it. It's called ghetto repeating. What you want me for? What you want me for? What did I do? 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 Ma'am, if you
what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
Touch me! Why don't you go and touch me? Did you just touch me? You stop touching me!
Yeah, seriously.
You know, I don't know, but I think that's the glory. You know, you got to take the good with the bad, because sometimes, most of the time, I mean, God bless. Knock on every piece of wood here. Nobody's done anything dumb, and no one's gotten punched, and that's a good thing. But because we've held those people together, and I think if they respect the establishment, they're not going to go ahead and do that. Man, we've had a couple of times. One time, I remember, this lady got off on this dude, man, and again, Michelob Ultra, you know, pre-game wherever, but Michelob Ultra.
Common denominator.
Popped his hat, and he just stood there. And he said, brother, I love you. And I said, you know, I respect your establishment. God bless if it was someplace else. I said, brother, man, thanks. I'm going to handle this. I'm going to handle this. And you know, husbands don't like handling their wives when they're mad, boy. No, they become that freaking bear, boy.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch her. I got to take her home. Yeah. She touched shit.
I remember one time I was bartending. This was before I worked at Skipper's, and this guy's wife just started going ballistic. One thing was messed up, and she just started going off. Common denominator, you guess what she was drinking?
Michelob Ultra.
And she started going off, man. And then the husband paid the tab, got up, and just left.
I had that same thing happen.
He came back in a couple of days later. He's like, "Hey, I'm so sorry I left you with her, but I have to deal with it at home. So I was trying to get a little break from that." And I was like, honestly,
oh my God,
honestly, I can't blame you, because that was like, she started screaming, and I'm like, I'll get you another plate of nachos. Well, like, whatever you had that was messed up, we can get you another one. No, I don't want that.
Shit,
I don't want that.
There was not enough cheese on that chip. Y'all promised me cheese on that chip. You know, we had this one group, man. Cool people. I'm not gonna say their names. I love them to death, man. Started getting obnoxious, belligerent, man. Started yelling. We had a show. Show started, man, and they were heckling all this other stuff. So we had to stop the damn show. So finally, the lady was like, "We've been spending $600 here. We can do what we want. We could do it." And man, just coming at it. We had to literally escort her and her whole family. You know, but the guy who paid for the meal, paid for the $600. She said they had a $600 tab. He said, "Man, this is the best time I've ever had, man. I'm gladly pay this thing. This is so cool." He says, "I'll be back." I don't know about them. He goes, "But I'll be back."
Did he come back?
Oh yeah. Actually, one of his kinfolks work for us. You know, so but I mean, it's kind of like you look at it in a way where there's not much of the control factor you can have. I think there's a point where you could stop the niceties and start being damage control.
Yeah, flick that switch.
You have to.
Yeah.
And anybody else, because it is a matter of your safety. Way too much glass on that table, and there's way too many cans, there's way too many things that can happen on that table. And if you are, as a bartender or anyone in the industry, you have to be the psychologist, the therapist, the sports trainer, the sex therapist. You have to be the bodyguard, the security guard.
Sometimes the janitor too.
Always the janitor, bro. Always the janitor.
Always the janitor.
You ever people throw up in your place?
Oh yeah.
See, that's where we win. We win. Nobody throw up in here.
I haven't had it at my current place. Knock on some wood, but I've bartended at quite a lot of places where it. What
were some of the places you bartended at?
I bartended at the Mighty Crab before that whole shabacle went down. Briefly bartended at Bubba's, but then after that I left and went on a deployment. And then I bartended at some little like mom and pop dive bars around Texas. Bartended a couple places in Arkansas. So just
What do you think? What do you think about Bubba's?
The restaurant or the people?
How about the people that go in there?
The people that go in there, man, it's
called Bubba's for a reason.
It's rough, man.
It's Bubba's for a reason.
When I was working there, like you see these people that just come in there, and they're there to drink. They're there, and some of them come in there to cause problems.
Yep.
And I mean, I feel like that's a pretty common denominator in all these places where you have a good majority of female employees. Is you're going to have these guys come in for that reason. They're coming in there to drink. They're coming in there to flirt with the pretty girls, and then 9 times out of 10 that turns bad.
Well, I think their concept is slightly askew because there's way too many TVs.
You don't know where you're looking. You look around.
Yeah, I think it's a little too many TVs. I actually also think that the sugar in a lot of the well drinks can really screw up a person's blood levels, sugar levels. That also causes a lot of delusions.
100%.
Plus, man, I don't think that anybody should come in on a Sunday eating food with butt cheeks hanging out. Because I'm going to tell you, it's been more than one occasion. I walk in there and the lady must be like coming out of Walmart because they got to eat at Bubba's butt cheeks. I mean, and I'm not talking about like, it's not like hot, like right off, the treadmill, CrossFit butt cheeks. It was like hot right off of IHOP, Waffle House, had the hash brown smothered and covered butt cheek. Man, that ain't like crepe paper, man. That's like hail damage on that butt cheek.
Yeah.
But it's funny, and I think that's why when you train your consumer to dress a certain way, I always call them. They always ask me, "What's your dress policy?" I said, "Tight shoe night. Tight shoe night. Mama's gonna want you to dress up because then she dresses up. She's gonna look more delectable."
Yeah.
There is a time and there is a place to have man cave feel. There are places where restaurants, and I have no problem with them, because I've been to Twin Peaks. Love the food, by the way.
It's actually really great food
and
there.
Restaurants are like Twin Peaks. They're kid friendly. You just sit them in the dining room, but the food is actually really good. And so I think they're in that way, but your perception of those type of restaurants has to change with the way people think. So it's not a strip club with food, right? It's food with very attractive people.
Exactly.
Now, if the managers want them to dress up, man, and nothing but a shoestring, that's their thing, right?
Yeah.
But I think that you have to train people to understand the behavior patterns. And I usually tell people, would you behave that way at BJ's? Would you behave that way in Olive Garden? Right? Would you behave that way at Jack Ryan's? Why is it all of a sudden, because it says steak, you have to dress and be a certain way? And that's what kills mom and pop stores. The fact that's the lack of respect that they give to your establishment. And that's where it should end. So like, let's say you're a member at a golf course. Some of them, I'm part of a country club, and there's a lot of obnoxious people there. But what they want to do is they feel like they have to lay claim into a small mom and pop store. Like, hey, I'm doing you the favor of putting me in your presence.
Yeah, exactly.
And what that does is it creates this cringe-worthy situation where you have people being loud and vaping and doing this and doing that, and they wouldn't do that at BJ's because.
Nope.
But why respect the corporate? Why respect corporate so much when you can see something being established in your town?
I would 100%, and not that I would disrespect either one, but I would 100% put more respect into a small business than a corporate chain.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
in that small, like mom and pop, they are putting their love, their life into that. A corporate is just like some guy signing some papers and.
Yeah, and let me piggyback on that. So what happens in corporate, you got a bunch of it's an investor group. That investor group has different types of chains and restaurants, and they have a regional manager, they have a regional director, they have assistants, they have all this other stuff. Those guys are not hands-on.
Nope, not at all.
In a place like Skipper's, a place like Jackson's, it's a couple of people that have not only sacrificed their time away from their children, sacrificed their time away from golfing, sacrificed their time away from family, New Year's, Thanksgiving, Christmas, because they are 100% committed and invested in their vision. And that is the most important. And when their vision, and excuse my Turkish, but when their vision gets fucked by a lot of customers who feel that they are more righteous and more privileged, then that's when the nice bartender has to be the boss and say, you're not welcome here anymore. We've 86 you, and I've done that a couple of times. We've had some situations where guys were too grabby, and you do it in a nice way, and you basically say, "Get the F out, man. We're done here."
You start it in a nice way, a nice business way, and then after that, if it keeps on, then sometimes you just have to flick that switch.
Well, it's a conundrum.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in this conundrum because you want to stay under the radar. So if something happens, the last thing you really want to do is call the cops.
Yeah, you don't want to call attention to it.
You don't want to call attention to it, so you make this deal, you make this kind of provision, say, hey, listen, man, this is what's going to happen, ... And if you don't understand that, then we're going to have to take a next step. But at the end of the day, that respect that you have to have has to be bled into those other people that are your consumers, that respect that place. And the wonderful thing about this place, and I'm sure about your place, is that our special people that are here understand that, and they want to help. I've seen customers sweep up, move chairs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like helping out, and I'm going, what? Really? So, and it bleeds into your staff. I always say, you don't inherit a good staff, you train a good staff. Your staff have to be CEOs. And they have to literally be invested in that mom and pop too. Because the ceiling is like this. If you go to Olive Garden and BJ's or Saltgrass, you don't really have a high ceiling. If you want a high ceiling, you have to transfer.
Yeah.
But into a place like this, there's no ceiling. The potential is infinite. And so my question has always been, does the staff want the check? Oh, we love your place. I love this place, but I got to be honest with you, if I'm not making any money, I wouldn't be here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you get people like that anywhere.
Exactly. And this is another reason why mom and pops really get destroyed, because staffing it can kill you. Staffing it can kill you, man. I've seen more staff screw up businesses than bosses.
100%.
And why is that?
It all comes down to that perspective that we were talking about earlier. I mean, you've got people my age. I'm 22. You've got people coming in looking for money at these places, and at 90% of these mom and pop places, you're not guaranteed to make as much money as you are at some places. So
right.
As soon as they start seeing that the paycheck falls a little bit, they leave.
A little bit.
It's just got to fall a little bit, and then they leave.
And how much service can they really give? How much service do they really give? I've seen some, and like now that I go in places, first thing I do is, like, if I'm not acknowledged, like within the first 2-3 minutes, outie. Like, or if I actually went, it was day before yesterday, on the Loop, somewhere close to Kroger, somewhere across the street there, by another restaurant. It's kind of like Tex-Mexy. It's very big, 2 floors, And I'm sitting there, man. I'm at the bar, and there are 3 ladies across, and they're behind the bar. I put my phone down. staring at him. And avoided eye contact like anything. So one has her back to me, and she's on her phone. She's supposed to be in a POS system, but she's on her phone. Still, I'm watching because to me, I'm you're auditioning. It's always audition. I may poach you, and I'm auditioning this person, and I'm like, you see me. I know you see me. Your back of your eyes are burning right now because I am seeing you see me.
I'm staring a hole into the back of you.
So she goes like this. So she turns around, walks out, and goes behind the bar to another table. Is there anything I can get you guys to drink? And you could hear the guy go, I'll have a Coke, I'll have a water. They don't know that I'm a good tipper too, and I drank my ass off. I go back, she goes, and then she does this move. Can I get you anything? Yes.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, to me, I felt like all I wanted to do was not to say, yeah, I'd like to see your manager. No one cares. No one cares. If you want to see the manager, yeah, fine, whatever. The manager's going to basically go ahead, kowtow to you, and it's not going to do anything to this girl because you're short-staffed. You're going to keep her.
Yeah.
So, what I wanted to do is I wanted to give her a tutorial. I wanted to sit her down as if though I was her father. Come here, honey. Now, you and I are going to have a talk. I am the richest man at this bar right now. All right? You drive a little Kia. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that you are a quarter tank left of gas. And you're probably hoping that someone can prepay your gas money because you need a good tip. Now, you lost my tip. The only way you're going to regain this tip is by perhaps being a little nicer. Now, I'm going to tell you what I want you to say. Here's kind of something. I want to go through this training. He goes, hi, welcome. Listen, I know I'm a little busy, but I'll be with you in a second. And I'll be like, hands clean, perfect.
Yeah.
I got you. Oh, by the way, have you been here before? It's that type of thing. And what you get right now in this business of short-staffed people, let me know if I can get you anything. And that's it.
Yeah.
This is why when I find good people, those are the people that stick around the longest because they understand people. Nowadays we are such a non-communicative society because of phones. We have no social interactions because of phones. We are a look-down society because of phones. We have forgotten what it's like to actually speak to people.
Yeah, that's why I got into bartending.
Yeah.
It's because I've always loved talking, interacting with people, but in today's world, like it's like basically non-existent if you're not the one to make that contact. Like you can't just expect people to be so talkative with you. That's why I got into bartending. I can talk to 20 different people from 20 different backgrounds.
And plus you're a Marine. The cool thing is, I was a CB. And so the whole thing was about engagement, and we took care of you Marines. Hey, we took care of you Marines. We built stuff for you. But the wonderful...
We take care of everybody else too.
Yeah. One thing about Marines, man, they love long lines. If there's a line, they'll stay in it.
Yep. We don't even know what the line's for.
Nope.
Half the time we're just in that line.
Why? So I can stay on my phone. There we go. But that's what gives you your personality, man. I'd catch it from jump. I'd catch it from jump with you. I'd hire you in a heartbeat, man. No doubt.
I appreciate it.
And the reason why is because you're infectiously, it's an infectious personality you have. And it gels. And it's better than the place with the 2 floors right off the loop that goes like this. Can I get you anything to drink? Could you imagine going out on a date with that woman?
Yeah.
Hey, hon, where would you like to go? I don't really care. Whatever you want to go. Doesn't bother me. I'm hungry.
What do you want to eat? I don't know. You pick.
I don't know. You pick. I don't want Mexican. Okay. Well,
Let's get sushi. No, I don't want that either.
I hate that. That'll give me diarrhea. Okay, what about a hamburger? What do you think? You think I'm cheap or something like that? No, I don't want a hamburger. I'm not going to go to the drive-thru with you and then you expect sex after that? No.
let's go to the buffet. What do you think? I'm fat?
What do you think I'm not cheap. What do you expect me to do? Just sit there and eat in front of you? So passive aggressive. I hate those two. Excuse me, ma'am. You get the ladies say, sir, I think you're a bit passive aggressive. No, there's nothing passive about being aggressive.
No.
You either are or you aren't, But yeah, I mean, I know that I was a little bit on a platform there, and again, that's why there are restaurant establishments that I do respect highly because I look at their staff and I go, my God, these staffs have been here for 25, 30 years, and because they get not only they understand that they get paid well. Number two, a lot of those people come to see those people. Customers come to see who they recognize and who they're familiar with, and that's what's really important. Now, the thing is are they coming to the establishment specifically for that person, or is the person just an accent piece to that establishment? So let's say take that person away, can the establishment still work?
I mean, I've seen it both ways. I've seen where people just come for that person for what they bring to the establishment,
right?
And I've seen when that person leaves, you don't see those people come in again.
Okay, I'm going to push back on that. Okay. But are you really relying on 5 people or 6 people when that person leaves? Because, I mean, I think it's the restaurant's problem if they're not bringing new people in. So there's something wrong with their concept.
Oh, 100%.
So you see what I'm saying? It's like, if I can't replace those people that this one person has, they follow, then that's a restaurant problem. That's not a server problem.
Yeah.
And I always feel like, and this is where a lot of times you have servers and bartenders always feel like they have you in a chokehold because they're constantly thinking, well, who are they going to replace me with?
Yeah.
Who are they going to replace? I am so, well, the thing is that what made you good was the fact that we own the instruments, the crystal, the glasses, the stirrers, the booze, the spirits, the sugars, the bitters,
the name on the
and even if you didn't have the name, you just take the name, just call it bar, But if you don't have those vessels, what are you going to do? And you have to be trained to engage in those personalities. And one of the things that I've always been a true stickler for is that 95% of your sales as a bartender is not from what's in here, it's from what's in here.
Oh, 100%.
And what you have here, and then deliver it out. And always ask. I have found in my business now, because I was in the dance business, I own 3 dance studios as well in Dallas. Never talk about yourself. We used to always say, you can't even tell people that you're engaged or married, or because these people, bartender, think of you as this kind of fantasy person. They think of you with the craftsmanship. They look at you to this level. You start to bring your own personal things, then they start thinking of you as this. Now they think of you as a buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, come on! I've been waiting here for 30 seconds. You haven't even given me anything yet.
Yeah.
I mean, so you have to understand there is this kind of moment where you have to step back. But what we train our people to do is to try to always be engaged. And if it gets a little too, let's say, connected, you somehow, our saying is, be engaging, but never be interested. Engaged, but never interested. And with anything, with anything. Because guys love this, it's like going to a strip club. You think that girl loves you. My God, she's dancing for me. I love her. And man, and these suckers are getting paid 20 grand, just to have her say hello to me. I'm going to just meet her. I could meet her out at 4 a.m. Who does anything at 4 a.m? You meet a woman out at 4 a.m, man. This isn't really a woman, man. Oh man, would you invite and introduce all your friends to that girl at 4 a.m, man?
Yeah, if you meet a girl at 4 a.m, she's either a stripper, one of the rare blue collar workers that are women, or
homeless.
homeless, or maybe a bartender. Maybe.
Applebee's closes at 2, man. You know, so it's like
maybe, but you know, you're leaning towards the first one.
Funny, I can't even go to Applebee's much anymore around that there because industry comes in. You know, they drink there and they know me. I'm like, shit, I fired that person. I fired that person. You know, hey, I tipped you well. You can be nice to me. And you know, the funny thing with industry restaurants like that, yeah, it's all Fireball. My God, that's so 2015. A shot of Fireball. Let's get a shot of Fireball. My God. I mean, you would wonder that's where the cops would sit at. It should be, that'd be easy. That should be just freaking easy, man. You just go to Applebee's and hang out of it.
From personal experience, that's where the cops should sit.
Absolutely. That's Fireball. Let's go do a Fireball raid. You know.
God, I can't stand Fireball.
No. When's the last time you had Fireball?
Probably a couple days before we went to a friend's memorial. We were drinking some Fireball, but other than that, before that, I couldn't tell you the last time I had it before that.
Man, that took the dialogue down, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Last time I had Fireball, we buried somebody. Man, that sucks.
He would have wanted us to drink, so that's what we did. We drank.
You know, and that's another thing about people like you and people like myself. We always know the right things to say in the most inopportune times. You know, I always, you know, you ever go to a funeral, man, and you always have those people, man, that say anything you need. If there's anything that we could do to help. I like to be that person and just say, yeah, could you babysit my dogs while I go on vacation for a little bit? I mean, you know, I just did all this burying and I had to be, I want to see what the reaction would be to that person, because they'll be like, it's almost like an obligation. Now you put it in their face, like, well, I have to see my calendar, you know.
Yeah.
It's like getting a job, you know. People want jobs, they don't want to work. I want to have a job, but I can only work Tuesdays between 3:30 and 5. I've got to pick up my kid at 4:45, but I don't have a car, so my brother's got to pick me up. And then I was wondering if I have to work, then can I bring my baby here to go work, and she can be behind the counter if I need her. And I can only work the 2 days a week because Friday I'm going on vacation, Saturday I have camp, Sunday I'm actually going to church, and then I go on a really big week trip. And then I got a friend coming in July. They won't be here for a while, so I could start working 3 months from now. And if you can be okay with those windows, I can like 2, 3, 20. But those are the ones that want to get paid the fastest.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so this is what I'm talking about. It's like when you're like, you and I again both know this because we're military. You want a job for a reason, because you have to afford things. You have to get you wait a minute. You've hired me? I am there. Car, even if I have to borrow a car, if I have to Uber, whatever, but I am there because you need a job.
Exactly.
I don't want a parent calling me for their child because it's the summer, they have nothing to do. It'd be okay. I took your general store. It's very cute. Can we do that? No, you want a job because you're basically borderline homeless and you can't pay your rent.
Hell, there's times I've walked to work just because I didn't have a way to get there, and I was like, I'm not missing my shift.
No,
I'll get there one way or the other.
And I don't want to be the get off my lawn guy. I was like, driven 4 miles in the snow with no shoes on to try to get to my damn job. But you almost have to be like that, because if you're a car. How do you not know your car doesn't have gas? How do you know your car? Like, I'm going to be late today because I ran out of gas. Do you not look? I mean, do you just put duct tape over your whole dashboard and you go, I'm just not going to know it's there. Oh, engine light. No, can't see it, can't hear it.
Give me another piece of tape.
Yeah, give me another piece of tape, man. But man, they do know when to clock out, and they do know that they have friends over. I've got friends over. I've got to go.
Yep.
I've got to go. Can I do cleanup? Whatever. I'm like going, yeah.
They know when that paycheck is too.
Yeah, sometimes if it's not early, Man, I don't know about skippers, and I'm pretty sure they pay once a week, right?
Yeah, we get our checks on Tuesdays.
You get your checks on Tuesdays, and do you cash out on a nightly basis, or do you keep, or does Scott keep the cash?
So we keep our cash, like we'll tip out like busser or bartender.
Okay.
But whatever cash is left, we keep.
Right. Yeah. So there's never this, or maybe there is. I'm behind on rent. I'm behind on car insurance. I'm behind on this. And it's like, how do you not know that until the day of? It's like, I woke up today and I found out that my insurance is due and my car's getting repoed. Could you help me? But these are stories, man. These are stories. As a person, and I hate to call it. I don't want to be called a boss. I almost think like it's very, boss is it's like almost that's politically incorrect now. I mean, I call you boss.
Yeah.
You have to say as employer. You go through these things where you have to mark that territory, because the minute you dip your toe into prepaying somebody, they got you then, boss. Yeah. It's like now they say, I can't come into work. I don't have any gas money. How do you not have gas money? Look under your couch, man. There's got to be something there. Why do you own a car? So when I tell people,
$5 bill somewhere.
But see, here's the thing. When I hire somebody, the first thing I ask them, do you have a dependable source of transportation? That's it. Dependable source of transportation. How much screen time do you have on your phone? Let's take a look. Holy shit. 8 hours in one day. God dang. It sucks, man. It sucks. And that's why, and I know I feel like I'm bogarting this conversation.
No.
But it's always like for me, reason why it's such a hard generation to staff now is because, again, we want the jobs, but we don't want to work. The money comes from ...
Don't know.
It comes from my beautiful face. It comes from the fact that I am a big influencer and I love taking videos. I've never saw the more poorest people in the world than influencers, man. I've got 40,000 followers, but I don't have gas in my car.
Yeah.
So in this generation, and I've talked to everybody, and you guys even said it, it's short-staffed. It is staffed that people or kids, oh God, here I go, get off my lawn. It's young adults that feel like working is not the priority. Experiences, traveling, spending mom and dad's money. And so we have learned that if we kind of gauge to a little bit older, and those are the ones that don't want to be home, that want to work, get this, they don't even really need the money.
Yeah.
What? The money's great, but they're also creative, and for us, you're not in the service industry because you have, that is your skill set. You're service industry because it is in transit. You're in transit to do something better, to do something else. And we tell people all the time, if you decide to take on this, we will train you to have a business of your own. Because that's for me what is keeps me motivated, and what keeps me motivated is having people that could see what we do and say, man, I want to do what he does, but I can't be like him. But you could be an extension of me. I always say to be like me is tough, man. First of all, you can't have a lot of sleep. Second of all, man, you got to know your hours, man, and you're in constant flux. You're in constant flux. Like yesterday, I don't even remember. Like this weekend, we got our jazz festival coming up, and then this whole July is we're having a big music series. Who am I going to get to staff that?
That guy right there?
Can't golf. I bought even a boat, man. I don't even know why. That was because I know sooner or later I'll go on it. If I could learn how to sail that son of a bitch, man.
Well, hey, you can just wait till retirement, and you might be able to sell it then.
Nah, retire? I'm not retiring. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna make you work for me, and then you could take it all over, man.
Oh yeah, I'll go. You can pay me to sell your boat. I'll sell your boat for you.
Really?
You can pay me to do it.
All right. I'm shit. The slip costs more than the boat. Damn. And it ain't even in Lake Glade water. Yeah, man. That's just 7 wonders of East Texas. Lake Glade water.
God,
Does your audience, I know this is your couple of first times doing this, but actually, what interests you into doing podcasts?
Well, so I had a failed podcast when I was in high school. I thought it'd be funny.
Right on.
I started like this like motivational podcast where basically I got drunk and just screamed motivational quotes for 30 minutes. I never took it serious. I thought it was funny. My friends thought it was funny. But as I got older, and especially after I joined the military, like I'm seeing all these different things. I'm having all these different experiences. And then when I got into bartending, it really started sinking in with me. I'm like, man, I'm these people's therapist.
Right.
I'm who these people are talking to. I should do something with the knowledge I have, with the skills I have, with the people skills I have, and put that to use. Mm-hmm. And so a couple months ago, I decided to really hammer down on it, and I started it. I spent like 48 hours brainstorming a name for this podcast.
I like the name, though.
And it's spelled like pouring a drink.
Yeah.
Most bad decisions have alcohol involved, I'd say.
How do you think I own this thing?
You probably had a drink or two.
2 or 3 or 4. Bad decisions, man. You know, and I say that it's all out of fun, but yeah, don't ever buy any property if you've been heavily libated. It's like you said, you buy things. All of a sudden you wake up and your fiance or your girlfriend says she's pregnant. You got a bruise or a freaking black eye. You wake up naked in a fetal position, some hotel that you don't even know how you got there.
Or you could wake up naked in a cemetery. I've had that happen before.
Who doesn't do that sober? Doesn't even do that sober. Yeah, but I love the name. I think it's got a lot of legs in that.
Yeah, I spent.
And if
2
it was,
days.
and if this podcast was later in the day, we would have poured into some decisions. It's poured. We got to work out. It's leg day today, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. No, but it's cool. So, I mean, how many episodes have you done so far?
This will be the 7th episode. I've over the 6 episodes I have posted, it's got like 290 listens.
Good.
Across 6 episodes. So we're getting there. I even made like some business cards, and it's got the logo on there with a QR code on the back.
Cool.
I've got it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Working on this one's going to be on YouTube as well.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing because always make sure your first year, your second year, but just always provide content. Don't slip. Sometimes I slip, and we're like, because life kind of gets in the way. But just once a week or twice a week, just put something in there, even if it's just you. I always look at it as like you have listeners that depend on listening to you.
Yeah.
One of the cool things about my podcast is that it should put you to sleep. That is a good sleeperoo. If you have insomnia, listen to my podcast. 5-10 minutes, it'll lights out.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that he also has a podcast.
Yeah,
so.
Jack Yak, YAKK. I'm gonna have this cat come on mine, and but I had this one cat, man. He says I drove 3.5 hours, man, and listened to you, and it was on something boring, but people want that because it's white noise. And at night, when you're ready, it's like what you need. And that's why I always say, never, 1 hour is fine, but 1 hour makes you established. Find your niche, find that little cult of people you have, and it'll be like, more people will gravitate towards you.
100%.
And I do like the video, I do like the podcast on the golf course.
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious.
I'm going to be redoing that one because I told some of you guys on the last episode how that one failed because we got too involved in the golf game. Fun fact: that was my very first time playing 9 holes of golf,
Oh,
and
classic.
it went bad. It went so bad.
But see, what the missing ingredient is have you doing a podcast while the bar cart came in every first and third hole, and that because drunk golf makes great TV.
Oh yeah, we were pretty hammered. My very first shot off the tee went straight into the road.
Well, at least you hit it.
Yeah, I hit it though.
I mean, hit it. You just look. I'm gonna hit that son bitch, that damn car. Hey, 5. Hey, put me down for an 8.
But I'm going to be redoing that one sometime in the future, and I'll probably do that one solo because then I can better balance the golf and the podcast. I had my buddy on that one and his buddy on that one, so it was just kind of just chaos.
Yeah, and what you could do is instead of having your camera static, you could literally have the camera on the golf cart, right? Every time you swing, you push it over here, and then do a cut, or as you're driving, you're talking, that you don't have to do the walk-ups. But you could do all that in post, and it's kind of, I don't know, I've always wanted to do it. Number one, it's inexpensive content, it's trivial, but people will watch it because people want to see it's how you gradually either implode or gradually get mad, gradually quit, gradually get drunk. People dig that. I'm telling you, there are some things that people don't like. They don't really like straight and narrow.
Yeah.
You got to have a car crash, man. Golf carts got to flip over. You're just talking way too much. And then they'll say, okay, wait till in 30 minutes. This thing is going to implode,
Yeah, it was definitely a great idea. It was just bad execution the first time, but I'm definitely gonna run it back because I enjoyed the idea.
Yeah.
Just got to do it a little bit better next time.
I mean, what kind of other guests have you gotten?
So I've only had besides the failed golf episode, I've only had one other guest. It was a friend of mine. She's a bartender at McCann in Long Beach.
What was her name?
Emma.
Got that. Names are there to protect the innocent. I know Emma.
She's great. We did an episode. It was called "Dating Is Dead," where we talked about modern dating and modern love, and we went pretty deep on that one.
And it's another great pivot because that's also a dying breed. I mean, I can't remember the life. I mean, even gym dating. You used to be able to meet women at gyms.
Not anymore.
Nope, because number one, they're more yoked than you.
Yeah.
I mean, they're more vascular, and my God, they deadlift more than your mama, and you're like going, and I mean, I tried picking up, I tried finding dates because you kind of have a common ground. I mean, worst comes to worst, if anything, you can meet her at the gym,
and you've got something in common because you're both at the gym,
and you have a spotter. You have literally a free spotter, man. Yeah. And I was at one time I was at the gym, and I swear, man, and attractive. Anybody doing pelvic thrusts, man, is attractive. And then, so she had these big cans on her ears, man, and I was like, I went up to her, and I said, hey, I really enjoy your workout. It looks really cool. And she went, excuse me? I said, I was just looking at the way you worked out. I mean, it looks really cool. She goes, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of a set. Thank you. And it's like, shit, did I just harass her?
Which is something you got to be careful about.
Yeah, because if you say hello, it's, why are you staring at me? Well, don't wear that and I won't stare at you. It is an obligational stare. I'm not going to look straight in your eyes when half of your ass is showing and your boobs are out here and you've got nothing but flesh hanging out. And I'm going to, oh, yeah, hi. Listen, I was wondering if you could, and I'm, and church is another thing. You can't meet anybody at church. You used to because you would thought that would be another common ground, God. And most all of them are there because they're depressed or they're longing to find religion again because they got a divorce and they don't want to touch a man because all men are assholes. So there's that.
Oh yeah, I hear that phrase all the time. Men are shit.
Men are shit.
Yeah.
Men are shit. Men are. So
everyone's shit. Yeah, let's just be real.
Unless I tell you you're not, you are shit. and swipe left. I'm doing a real life swipe. Grocery stores, you can't either.
Nope.
No, grocery stores because Why are you looking in my bag? Why are you looking? No, I actually wanted to know if that was on sale. No, you're not. You're looking at my ass now. Okay, why are you looking at my ass for? No, honey, I was really looking at what, is that on sale?
Yeah, what aisle is that
yeah,
from?
you know, but those are, it's so tricky, man. It is so tricky. You almost have to, and I'm not saying it, it's like, it sucks to really be single. It sucks. Just think about it as a dude. You get dressed up, you put that really good cologne that you overspraying way too much.
Yeah.
You go to a club where there's 35 men in competition for one, and if you're not well heeled, if you don't have your game on, if you don't look like a quarterback from the New England Patriots, and if you're not dry, I had one girl ask me, "What car do I drive? What car do I drive?" I don't have a car. I have this really cool bicycle though. It's got a twin seat, man, you know. But
yeah, me and my Toyota Camry, we ain't competing.
no,
with some of these
you
guys
can't.
out here.
No, and so it's hard, and it's hard to be a guy. A girl, it is really easy to, because a girl can be at a club and spot any guy that she wants, and if she wants him, that guy, if he comes up to her, that guy has been relevant only by her. So if he tells a stupid joke, she's going, oh, so funny. And it's only because she's giving you the time.
Yep.
She just says, okay, you're auditioning for me. And so it does not matter how good you look or how good you smell or how much money you have. If that woman does not find you relevant, you are totally irrelevant. And that's why women always hang out with other women. Still to this day. The myth is, why do you guys still go to the bathroom together?
Yeah, I honestly, I'd love to get an answer for that one.
Oh my God.
Like an actual answer.
Can you imagine, like, if I said to you, "Hey, you want to go to the bathroom with me?" You would go.
Weird,
What's your
yeah.
problem?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? Are you a homo? What's wrong with you, homo? With girls, it's so cool. You'll never go to see a girl, man, that'll go to the bathroom. You want to go to the bathroom? And the girl goes, "What are you, a lesbian?"
And you'll never really catch a girl going to the bathroom by herself either.
Ever.
And if she is, might be.
There must be somebody in there. There must be somebody in there. There's somebody that goes in there that they feel unsafe. It must be like a monitor. There's like somebody that's going in there, "Take a number, honey, please." "No, I'm with a friend. She's okay." "All right, you're good." Yeah, but you can't. I mean, it's like, do we hold it for, with guys, you could hold it. We could hold it for each other. What do you girls do? I mean, you talk underneath it. You're talking under your feet there. "My God, I love your shoes. What kind of panties are those?"
I saw this one thing, and I found it so funny. It was an image of like why girls go to the bathroom together, and it was like one girl had her feet on the other chick's knees, and the chick was like holding her off the toilet seat. So she had to touch it.
No, it was, for me, I was thinking, like, when you put women in the bathroom, since we're onto this subject, women alone, especially if you're a guy and you live with someone, women don't fart in the bathroom. They have this really weird thing. I mean, it's just like, it's almost like it shudders the idea. You have to put the music on real loud, because if they're peeing, but if they fart, it's like, "I didn't do that," or Yeah. But if women go to the bathroom with other women, they'll fart in front of each other all day. They're like, "Oh, I got one. Oh my God, honey, that was so big."
Yeah, that was a 7 out of 10.
Oh, wow. I wish I could do that. I'm so constipated right now. And there's this kind of freedom that women have with each other, I mean, even like men won't like look at each other naked, they won't like go. I mean, it's not like a guy will go, "Damn, dude, that shit is hung, bro." Women will actually like, "What do you think? These look good. Oh my God, what bra is that? That is such a great bra. I love this bra. It's such a wonderful bra. Oh, is my ass look too?" "No, your ass." Honey, if I had an ass like that, oh my God, I'd get as many men as I could over here at this theater. But guys, could you imagine a guy talk like that? It's like, do you think this is too big or too small? I mean, what do you think? What do you think? I don't know. I mean, it could use a little more girth, but other than that, I mean, what comes you ever wonder that? I mean, and most of the time,
I think that's what the Navy does.
Yeah.
The Navy does that.
Do you think I need to shave? Do I need to, now guys will respect good bodies, right?
Oh, 100%.
You know, it's like, dude, chest.
Yeah, you're fucking
Yeah,
yoked,
yeah.
man.
See, that's how we're different. So we're not talking about like cock size. You know, we're just talking about like,
yeah, bicep, triceps.
how much you lift?
Yeah.
What did you do for your legs today?
Yeah.
Man, 275. Cool. That's cool, man. Pump it up. You know, when it comes down to like genitalia, man, we're very private about that because
we're private
we don't want anybody bigger than us.
Yeah.
We don't want anybody to seem to be bigger than us. And we want our old lady to always remember that this is 6 inches.
I thought this was 6
Yeah,
inches.
well, something, man. You know, yeah. And you know, but like I said, I think we've become cursed with the idea that women have made us feel small. They have. Women just always makes you feel small. Oh, honey, don't worry about it. It's fine. And
The big ones hurt.
No, God, no, honey, you're enough. You're enough. And you're like going, like. And you always wonder in the back of your head, what was that last boyfriend? You know? And sometimes I would know. Like, you know, you kind of know. Like a dude is sporting 3 or 4 women. I'm like going, yeah, dude, you're a king salami, man. I mean, the guy's probably like hung like a freaking Sasquatch, man, a Sagittarian Sasquatch. And so you're like, kudos, man. I mean, yeah, I'd like to see it. I mean, take some pics, man. But that becomes like that moment where it's not kind of a gay thing. It's more like it's admiration, man. Kind of like my pecs, my buys, you know, everything like that. We're just kind of looking for that size, man. That, you know, to kind of like, yeah, I'm smart to be you, man. You know, I mean, but don't talk about us when it comes down to having sex or anything like that, because we're always good. We're always good, man. Right? We're the best of the best. That's right. And if you ain't got it, that's not a me problem. That's a you problem.
Yeah.
It's not a Jack problem. That's a female problem.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I just kind of think like for us in general, as you and I are concerned, we're pretty much 100.
Yeah.
You know, we keep it transparent, and
I'm always gonna be straight with anybody I ever meet, because like I just don't see the point in lying. Like I don't gain anything from lying. I don't gain anything from not being true to myself.
Right.
And I'm always gonna be true to myself.
right.
And sometimes, you know, like if I start a new job or something, it might take me a little bit to get out of my shell or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be me 100% of the time, because that feeling of living a life where you're not you, I know how that feels, and it's not a great feeling.
And and with this podcast, no one should find it ever offensive, because it is uncut, it is uncensored, it is something that comes straight from the hip, and I think that's why people love podcasts, because it's unedited,
Yeah.
and it does come straight from the hip, and there's a sense of sincerity with anything you say, and there's nothing trivial about conversation. And though conversations can run one angle to another, it all stems, I mean, basically from the same two people that are talking about it. And I think that every conversation, I mean, when's the last time you had a conversation where all you had was just one conversation? I mean, it went from like movies, and then everybody will go, oh yeah, but you remember that day? And then they'll go, hey, you know what, I'm hungry. Hey, you remember going out to eat? You know, there's this kind of like a triangular fire of how we speak. Like we speak about the industry, and we speak about restaurants, and we speak about that place on McCann off the Loop.
Yeah. You
Second
got
floor.
rodeos or
Rodeos.
dick sizes.
Dick
like-
sizes. Hey, man, hey, we all the same big size. We all do. You know, yeah. Hey, come on, man. You know, but you know, I literally think that, yeah, and that's good conversation.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much meat on that bone. And as you touch on that, then something else ignites another conversation. The best thing and conversation is best done with a little drink, a little bit of bourbon, a little bit of wine. And I think that makes for also best companions and best friends
100%.
too, you know.
Like that's why I love bartending so much, because you could be having one conversation with one guy, but you go 2 spots down and you're having a completely different conversation. So you're hearing all these different perspectives, these different experiences. You're hearing different stories. Like and it's great. I love having even if I'm just having a conversation with one person, I love being able to bounce back and forth between so many different things because some of my buddies will get into a conversation. We don't know where that conversation's going.
No.
We'll start talking about something that happened, and we'll end up on something that happened 4 years ago, and we're just
right.
And it's like,
but
okay.
as a bartender, you also have to realize you are in surround sound. You have to be in surround sound. So you have to, your eyes and your ears constantly like antennas. And if you're talking to somebody, but now you see somebody over there and they've got an empty glass or they're staring at you and like that, I'll be right with you. Hey, you know, and because people are very, you know, your time and your conversation is valuable. And the more you can make that intersperse out and keep that flow going, man, that's what makes a very successful craftsman. Like I said, 90% of the 10% is what you put in that glass and the flair you put it in. 90% is what's here. I know when I tell all my bartenders, I said, act as if though what you're making is a labor of love. They want, because you're on stage, people watch you the whole time. You're behind that bar and people are watching you. They watch everything you do.
Yep.
You are on it, you know. Now, after that, once they trust you, then they know what the consistency will be with what you're doing. So, I mean, you know, it's again, man, you are a therapist, you are a psychiatrist, you are a physical trainer, you are their health guru, and you're their security. You know, so, but I think that's like, and kudos to you for, you know, doing something like this as well on your day off, because I know how it can be, you know, when you're creating, you know, content, and creating content is tough, bro.
It really is, especially like in today's world, like everyone's already created some version of something for the most part, so you have to find a way to take what you're creating and make it unique to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, my way of being unique is I'm just me the whole time. Like it's unedited, like explicit, like whatever. Right. Like I'm not gonna hide anything because, well, that's how I'm gonna be unique. Is I'm not gonna sit here and filter anything.
No.
Because that's what people are doing nowadays is they filter everything. They filter conversations, photos, videos. You ain't gonna catch no filter on anything I post on
it's
here.
Because we live in an offensive world, and people sue people for being offensive, but yet they want to use their freedom of speech for the wrong reasons. You know, whether it's to call people names or whether it's to, like, you know, tell people how to act or scream at them or yell at them, these explicitives and whatever. And they keep forgetting that, okay, what works for the goose doesn't work for the gander. If you want that, then don't tell me you don't do an MF here, an SOB or AHO in your house, and then all of a sudden you see something or you hear something and go, I can't hear that. Oh, they're disgusting. Excuse me, I don't really, you know, those guys don't do that.
Yeah.
Guys will just leave.
Yeah.
You know, the guys will just leave. They'll go, nope, not for me. Ladies will just put a 10-minute diatribe on how offended they were, and then they'll write a letter, and then they'll write a review, and then they'll you know, and then they'll talk to your manager, and your manager's going, hey man, sorry about that. Hey, listen, shame on you. You know, again, same ones that go ahead and go, my boob's too big. I need some work. Yeah, I need some work. Do you know? Just out of shits and giggles, this is like totally, you know, just spitballing, man. You know how many wellness centers there are in Longview?
Off the top of my head.
I mean, my God, what is it between vape shops and health and wellness places?
Car washes. Don't forget car washes.
Well, okay. East Texas. Your guys are famous. Dollar Generals.
Yeah.
Vape shops.
Yep.
And health and wellness. So while you're going to get something at Dollar General, like a something for your pool for $1, you go to a vape shop to to vape on some THC so you can go to your wellness and get well again. I don't know. I mean, and out of all places, Longview, great for Botox. Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah,
You
it's
know, who
not
knew?
something I would guess.
No, it's like it's like going to Marshall and finding that you have great wine there. What? What did I say?
Yeah.
So that's been fun.
Yeah.
I like this. This has been great.
Yeah, definitely a good episode for sure.
You sure?
Yeah, 100%. I'm going
I
to
like
go
this
home
guy.
and fucking put those two videos together because y'all obviously aren't going to be able to tell this, but it got cut off about 20 minutes ago from a phone call. So we're going to edit those together so y'all can't tell. But now you know.
That was the best part because we were both naked.
Yeah, and you're never going to find out.
And you're never going to find out what happened. Now, if we were women, we'd go into the bathroom, we'd show you.
Yeah, but you're never going to know. Never going to know.
That is 6 inches.
But yeah, that's 6 inches for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, good episode for sure.
I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, this has been Jackson.
And this has been Poor Decisions. And we'll see you next time. And he'll be on my podcast, and it'll be twice as fun. But
Yeah.
but what we'll do is we'll get lit on the way.
Oh yeah, and we might have another cut where we're out here again. But
Oh,
we'll
I
see.
love that. I would love that, man. Little encore. It's a
Yeah.
great job, man.
Hey, but y'all take care. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks, boss. Appreciate you, man.